Hello, welcome to another video on our channel. Here we translate testimonies of people who went through near-death experiences. Today we are going to know the story of Sabrina. She told that she saw the spirit of the waters and was healed by a spiritual entity. If you are not yet subscribed to the channel, subscribe now. Activate the notification bell to be notified of each new video. Now let's listen to Sabrina's testimony. It is with immense joy that I send this testimony. God only knows what I had to hear from the people I told my story to. Definitely, most friends and relatives are not prepared to understand this type of experience. That's why it's so important that there are channels on this subject on the internet. My story took place in 2010. I was on vacation in a city in northeastern Brazil, a lush place. My white skin was the color of a woodpecker's topknot, but I was having a lot of fun. Like any tourist, I was experiencing all the flavors of the region's typical cuisine. I had already eaten and drunk a variety of things I had never heard of. Some caused me extreme delight, others made me regret having tasted. But after I survived a fried dumpling with a cream, shrimp and lots of hot pepper, I thought nothing else would bring me down. I was staying with my husband in the state capital, but we decided to visit a beach outside the city. In this place, we rent a small hut, close to the sea. It was a very simple and cozy inn. But there were no restaurants close by. On one of the nights we spent there, a large amount of seafood was served. I ate a little bit of everything. When I went to bed, around 11 p.m., I was feeling sick, sweating and feeling chills. I woke up at 2 a.m. burning with a fever. I looked at my husband, he was sleeping and I didn't want to wake him up. I thought that in the morning I would be better. Turns out the fever wouldn't go away. I was dehydrated and without the strength to get up and get a glass of water. Suddenly everything went black. The next moment I was on my feet, looking at the bed. I found it strange, my body was lying next to my husband. But that didn't scare me at all. I was feeling very well, that malaise was gone. I had never felt so light. I heard the sound of the sea and I wanted to go out and see the waves. I went to the outside area of the inn, from where I could see the beach. The night was wonderful. The full moon was shining, casting a silvery trail over the waters of the sea. But there was a different light on the waters. It was as if there was a sea above the sea. But it was a sea of light, of energy, that moved, following the movement of the waves. I was completely blown away. I seemed to be in a trance, mesmerized by the beauty I was looking at. There was music in the air, a repetitive chant accompanied by some kind of percussion. It was very beautiful and harmonic. It sounded like a chorus of people singing. I started to follow that sound, I wanted to hear it up close. Suddenly I saw, in a place that was about 300 meters from where I was, a circle of people. They were all in white, on the beach. They sang and clapped. And right in front of them, that sea of energy that was above the waters, was making a different movement. It looked like it was raising larger waves of light, until one wave lifted and formed the silhouette of a woman. That woman, all made of light and energy, began to spin and passed inside the wheel, counterclockwise. When I got closer, I noticed that there were other people with them, but they were in another dimension, I think in the same dimension as me. That energy that came from the sea passed through people, and they moved their bodies as if they were feeling it. And that energy was also connected with the people who were there in spirit, they were filled with that light and somehow channeled it to people. It was an amazing sight. I had never seen anything like it. These spiritual beings had different forms, some were children and very active, full of energy. They ran everywhere and passed by each person making a gesture, they seemed to be blessing everyone. Others were quite old, some were bent over and walked slowly. But these were also blessing the wheel people. When I got very close, a very old lady, dressed in white and with a branch of some leaf in her hands, called me. I knelt down. She took those leaves, which had a very pleasant aroma, and passed them around my body, saying some words that I didn't understand. She spoke in Portuguese. When I took a good look at her face, I saw that she was younger than me, but she was acting like an old person. And before I had seen the face of a very old lady. Suddenly she opened her eyes and it seemed that she was no longer seeing me. She got up and I saw that behind her there was a very old lady, but she was there in spirit, like me. She communicated with me, by thought. But this time I understood everything. She said I would be fine, my problem was already being taken care of. After saying that, she disappeared amidst those waves of energy that were already spilling out of the water. That energy got to me. It touched my feet, rose to my waist, then I dove into the light. It was like the feeling of refreshing seawater on a hot day. But in place of the fresh feeling was a peace and love I had never experienced. After that I felt a great suction force and I was pulled from that place. I felt my body sucking me into it and I woke up. The fever had passed as if by magic. I was still baffled by everything I had seen. The feeling I had was that someone had taken away the discomfort with their hand. I thought I would have to visit a doctor, but it wasn't necessary. Well, I tried to tell my husband, but he didn't quite understand. Afterwards I talked to the owner of the inn and she said that I was blessed by the spirit of the waters, something like that. I don't know, to this day I seek explanations for this experience. But it changed my view of life and death a lot. I saw that there is a spiritual world full of mysteries surrounding us. So, what did you think of this testimony? Leave your impressions in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Let's bring more people the hope that there is life beyond what the eyes can see.